Hey artists, the final step for this sculpture project is basically sanding and painting to make it suit whichever art style we've chosen, whether that's modernism or minimalism. So I've finished all my layers with the paper clay or the wall spackle, and I just kind of gave this thing a base coat, or you can start to give it a base coat of a single color. The thing before doing that though is if you have some sandpaper that you can just use on any area that's kind of bothering you. So any rougher spots, like right here maybe, I just can come on in and give that a little bit of love. And it's not going to make anything perfect or perfectly smooth, but it certainly will help to refine it, and so will painting. So you can use the sandpaper wherever it's needed. Just be really careful of the dust and the cleanup after this. You may want to wear a mask, and then you may want to use a broom or even a vacuum cleaner to get all the dust, and this can just go in the garbage when you're done. As far as painting goes, you could use a single color. So if you're doing modernism, perhaps you even have just a paint color laying around from painting a wall at home that really works well. You can also get these little samples made up at the hardware store for next to nothing of any color that you like. So it's a little, I want to say 200 ml container, not very costly, really good option if you need a lot of a single color. And although I'm doing a single color as well, and I actually thought I would do white and into some gray tones, you want to go back to that blending technique that we learned when we did the painting project, and using lights, mixing up mid-tones, and getting into a deeper color as well. And the reason that you would do that is just basically you're wanting to emphasize any area where there's a strong highlight. So if I'm looking down on my sculpture, come in and I know the base of it is going to have these bright white highlights, right, along these ridges of the nostrils, along the top right here, you know, the tops of ears, etc., etc. But then you can use that blending technique to just emphasize what you've already sculpted. So as I move into more of a mid-tone, that's going to help me blend down sort of a softer gray. And you might find, well, you will find actually that the paint dries fairly quickly, so it's easy to layer this or even to give it 2 coats wherever that's needed. Here down lower on the chin, I'm going to start to emphasize that shadow that would happen. So you're not only allowing the physical contour of what it is, I'm going to go with the darkest tone here now, to do that work, but you can slightly emphasize those sculpted areas for yourself using the paint to just really make the shadows shadowy and deepened, blending it out. And if you ever do something a little too strongly, you know, you can always come back to your main overall color. But I just find this is a really nice option if we're kind of just focused right in that area here. And you can see it really builds a lot of depth, okay? A lot of character. Come back in with the highlight again. Just kind of makes that sculpture a little more true to the forms. So sculpture is all about that 3D form, and the way that you choose to paint it can emphasize that. Obviously, if I were doing a more modernist version and not such a minimal, simplified version, I would probably be adding the little pink or hair in the ears, the appropriate brown tones here, or down along its neck, maybe has a white fur patch, and then some mottled speckles. So it's up to you. It just depends on the style that you've chosen. But make sure that as you paint, you're getting all the way around both sides of the sculpture, and that acrylic paint is also going to help to seal in and smooth out any areas that perhaps felt a bit rough or just a bit fragile. So it's that final step in the process. Good luck painting up your sculptures. I think you'll be so excited with that final result. Have fun.